Harry's Wife, Part 90.17. She is 44. "44. 44. Not 43. Not 45. 44. 40 plus 4 more years. 44. 4. 44. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Dramatic news indeed. Fully meritorious of that dramatic fanfare that brings with it the news that apparently Harry's wife's true age has been revealed in court. Many news articles, of course, tell us that Harry's wife is aged 40. Goodness me, this cough just doesn't go away. And, of course, festooned throughout social media are allegations and suggestions that Harry's wife is older than 40. Individuals have pointed to evidence provided with regard to what a father has said, information provided by certain friends with regard to their age and being a peer of Harry's wife with regard to school or university, which cast doubt on her being 40 years old. This, of course, has then led many people to think that she has been incapable of giving birth to the two children, given the fact that she is older. Of course, there are many women in their 40s who are quite capable of giving birth to children, so it doesn't necessarily follow, although the fertility chances are reduced. Leaving aside the issue of the children for the moment, this is a focus on age. And we go to the Geo News, which is suitably succinct, but this is also covered in international news, although nobody else seems to be mentioning it so far. And Geo News leads with this: Harry's wife revealed her true age in UK court? Harry's wife last week celebrated her privacy victory against the United Kingdom newspaper group, expressing hope it would encourage others to hold the industry to account and change it for the better. The Duchess of Sussex said after 3 appeal court judges rejected an appeal by associated newspapers that it was a victory not just for me, but for anyone else who has ever felt scared to stand up for what's right. What matters most is that we are now collectively brave enough to reshape a tabloid industry that conditions people to be cruel and profits from the lies and pain that they create, she added. And I have analysed this sanctimonious statement in parts passim. But her victory has not gone down well with her critics and royal family fans. Some social media users are speculating that Harry's wife has revealed her true age in the court documents. A claim made on Twitter was retweeted by royal biographer Angela Levin, who is known for criticism of Prince Harry and Harry's wife. In the conversation about Harry's wife, the Duchess has been referred to as Princess Pinocchio, a term used by TV presenter Piers Morgan for Harry's wife. Insult, assertion of control. And you will see the relevant tweet reads as follows, from somebody called Shasuma Sonatina. OMG, you do realise that she's revealed her true age. Pinocchio has stated in the document, you have shown that she was 2 years old when Samantha was aged 15 years, when she moved to the other side of town. Which means there is a 13-year gap between them. Samantha, born November 1964, is 57 years old today. Pinocchio is 13 years younger. That little slip-up revelation means Pinocchio is 44 years old. Gotcha. The maths has been done, and the article continues stating, commenting on the tweet, a user shared screenshot of what he called Harry's wife's email. He wrote, I think they are talking about Harry's wife's emails that were submitted as evidence. She, nor her lawyers, challenged their authenticity. These were facts, in inverted commas, she wanted Jason to go over with the authors of FF, Finding Freedom. So there is an observation which was made, which has been retweeted by Angela Levin, and it seems to me that the observation by Shasama Sonatina is a comment made on YouTube, which has then been retweeted by Angela Levin, and somebody else, looking at what Shasuma Sonatina is saying, has deduced that this must be reference to the email. Well, let's bring up a screenshot of said email, and you will see it reads as follows. Hi, Jason. This is directed at Jason Knorf, the former communications secretary. Thanks very much for the info below. For when you sit down with them, it may be helpful to have some background reminders, so I've included them below just in case. I know you are better versed at this than most, but assisting where I can, I appreciate your support. Please let me know if you need me to fill in any other blanks. Thank you. And underneath, there are the pieces of information that is included as referenced by, presumably Harry's wife, stating, family, M's relationship with half-siblings, including date/timing questions. They were teenagers when they moved into her parents' home prior to Harry's wife being born. Doria left Tom when Harry's wife was 2 years old, moved to the other side of town, 45 minutes away. His other children were 15 and 17 years old. Tom Jr. and Samantha dropped out of high school and moved out of their father's home the same year. Now, that is an excerpt which has been provided in the news article aired by Geo News and is presumably taken from one of the emails that was revealed in court in the recent case. Assuming that to be true, and that the veracity of that email is beyond reproach, namely that it did come from Harry's wife, containing the information that's stated there, that does, as a matter of simple mathematics, suggest that her age is 44 rather than 40. Of course, it might be that the email is inaccurate, but why would it be if it's written by her? She, of course, has detailed it herself, and therefore has been hoisted by her own petard, utilising her own information. Of course, it might be the case that the email isn't genuine and has been generated by somebody else, but so far there's nothing to suggest that that is the case. Therefore, if we accept that this is a genuine email written by Harry's wife, sent to Jason Knorf, then by her own admission, it demonstrates that the age gap between her and her sister is 13 years old, meaning that she is older than she has maintained that she is. This would therefore, on the face of it, support that she has lied about her age, and she isn't 40, but in fact is 44. Now, first of all, you might be asking yourself, well, a matter of 4 years, why would you lie about your age? Well, of course, many narcissists do. Why? Well, it's done instinctively, in many instances, so it becomes their truth, to ensure that they are portrayed as younger which of course helps the prime aims. Now, Harry's wife might actually have decided, well, I'll tell a little porcupine about my age, because then it'll give me more opportunities with regard to acting jobs. It's no secret, of course, that beyond a certain age you are often, unless you're exceptional, deemed as popping back on the shelf beyond your best before date, particularly for women within Hollywood. And therefore one would understand why an actress would shave a few years off the age in order to try and promote and extend their shelf life as an actress. And therefore, she may well have done it with those intentions. And although she's an unaware narcissist, she will know in certain instances where she tells lies. However, what she then does is repeatedly and instinctively repeat the lie, believing it to be the truth, because her narcissism does that. And it maintains that, at least consistency, most of the time, with regard to the issue of her age. It's done to make her seem younger, to make her seem more attractive, to make her seem closer in years, of course, to the Ginger Prince, who's 37 years old. Rather than there being a 7-year age gap, it's only the 3-year age gap. Of course, the lie, influenced by her narcissism, is there, as always, for the pursuit of the prime aims. It's there to assert control, draw fuel. It is an alteration of a character trait, and, of course, is there to maintain a particular facade and access residual benefits, money, networking, opportunities, etc. And that's why, unconsciously, that it's done. On the face of it, the narcissism will allow her to know that she is telling a porky pie and justifies it on the basis of, well, everybody does it in the industry, I need to be able to extend my longevity as an actress. And therefore, it allows her to know that, but doesn't allow her to know that she's doing it for the prime aims. Thereafter, she just does it instinctively, without thinking about it. The narcissist maintains that consistency, save, of course, in this instance, where if the email is correct, it has revealed her actual age, rather than the one that she has purported to the rest of the world. What flows from this? Well, first of all, once again, we see the law of collateral consequences coming along and taking a juicy bite out of her butt, in the metaphorical sense. Another collateral consequence from the case that she brought, and that's one of the difficulties. Where you bring legal action, you're invariably going to face up to scrutiny, because your opponent is going to try and look over everything related to your case to try and halt it, discredit it, slow it down, and defeat it. And that means going over your pleadings with a fine-tooth comb. Your opponent might not do it, but the lawyers certainly retained by your opponent will do so. It's their job. They'll go through the statements of case to ascertain, is what's stated there accurate? Can something there be attacked? You then have obligations with regard to disclosure of documentation. And those disclosure obligations can be extensive, particularly when it comes to electronic communications. Furthermore, there's witness evidence, potentially expert evidence. And all of this, your opponent will go over looking for inconsistencies, gaps, and outright lies. And therefore, when you bring litigation, you need to ensure that you're properly well prepared and you very much have your ducks in a row. The greater Narcissist and Ultra, of course, will ensure that that's the case, influencing the provision of evidence in particular ways to ensure that there is that consistency, to ensure that the lies that are told cannot be uncovered as lies. People are bribed, people are intimidated to ensure that their evidence is consistent with that of the greater or the ultra. But when it comes to mid-range narcissists, and as I've explained this in my excellent video, Give the Narcissist Enough Rope, just let them keep talking, and the evidence builds up, because they are only focused in the moment, and therefore their narcissism is less capable of ensuring that everything is consistent, and therefore in moment A, in order to assert control, they'll tell lie A. And therefore, in moment B, the scenario is that they will tell lie B, which shows that A was a lie. And the narcissism doesn't care about that because it's so narrow-focused. This collateral consequence has arisen from the litigation. It also, of course, is another blow to her credibility. If this information is accurate, it demonstrates that she spent a long time telling everybody that she's 40 when actually she's not. And it's yet another blow to her credibility, causing more people to ask, We can't believe anything that comes out of her mouth, can we? And, of course, the revelation in itself is a threat to control. She, of course, isn't going to approach the relevant news articles and tackle them head on. It might be the case that if it gains some media traction, some kind of clarifying statement might be issued, or more likely, she will assert control indirectly by muttering to the relevant members of the coterie about, here's once again some made-up nonsense about me, they just won't leave me alone, oh, I'm such a victim, and of course staying in that position of withdrawal. It'll certainly be interesting to see what happens now with this information, given, of course, that the rest of the media have declared open season on her and the Prince of Preaching. Is it now the case for the Empress of Woke that they will use this material against her? As mentioned at the swift look around on the internet prior to creating this video, it appeared that it was only the international news and Geo News who had picked up on it. But will other more heavyweight outlets do so? We will have to wait and see. But once again, this demonstrates the propensity of the narcissist to tell lies, the obscured and altered narrative that the narcissist operates through, the law of collateral consequences, and once again enables you to understand more about Harry's wife's behaviour. Please ensure that you like this video before you go anywhere else. That's the thing that you must now do, unless you have done so already. And share it. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.